The Iron Legion is a loyalist Space Marine chapter with unknown origins, though it is suspected they are a successor to the Imperial Fists due to their expertise in fortifications and heavy weaponry. The Iron Legion follows the Codex Astartes, as most other chapters do, though with a slight change. Instead of marking company by shoulder trim color, they mark it by a black Gothic number located inside their role markings. In similar way, they mark squad numbers by a white Gothic number on their right knee pad. They mark sergeants by a silver helmet. What also sets them apart from a normal Codex-compliant chapter is that the Iron Legion does not use assault squads, but have 4 Devastator squads per company instead. With their large amount of Devastator squads comes also a large number of heavy vehicles, such as Land Raiders and Predators. They are experts in siege warfare, but also prove their skill on the open battlefield. The vast amount of tanks and their planes form the first wave of attack, smashing through the enemy ranks, followed closely by the Space Marine transport, packing full with the Emperor's Angels of Death. This tactic has been a favorite of the chapter after the first chapter master, Lapis, discovered it from a source dating back to the Age of Terror, World War II and Blitzkrieg. After the First War of Armageddon, it was decided that the planet and the system needed to form a Space Marine garrison to prepare for any upcoming conflicts. 100 orphans of deceased Imperial Guardsmen were selected to be the founding of the new Iron Legion, who would assist Armageddon and their Steel Legion in any and all upcoming wars. Clad in dark grey and black, they were and still are hard as iron. The fortress monastery was built inside the Sreya Rock mountain line located in the Fire's Wastes on the northern part of Armageddon. A master fortress, easily able to handle almost anything thrown against it, further proving that the Iron Legion was an Imperial Fist successor chapter. A few centuries after the First War, a new threat emerged for the Hive world: the Orc warboss Ghazghkull Thraka and his horde of greenskins. Unfortunately, much of the chapter was off-world and even outside of the sector. Only their scout company was stationed in their fortress world, while the rest of the chapter was out, assisting the Imperium where they could. The scouts tried as best as they could, but were quickly slaughtered by the Xenos, leaving their fortress sacked and in ruins. The rest of the chapter only managed to arrive after the Orcs had been beaten back by the Space Marine coalition led by the Blood Angels. Their current chapter master, Hort Duby, swore an oath to never leave the system again, for as long as Ghazghkull Thraka remained, Armageddon was still in danger. 70 years after the Second War, the Orc warboss returned, with an Orc war so large it could devastate lesser sectors with ease. The Iron Legion was tasked with defending the fire wastes of northern Armageddon. The companies from 6th to 9th led the defense of the Black Lung pits, while the battle companies defended their own fortress world. Hort Duby would not let the Orcs sack the monastery for the second time during his time as the chapter master. He ultimately failed in the task, as the Orc hordes were too strong for them. The only survivors of the first company only survived when the reserve companies abandoned their task to rescue what was left of the chapter, located in the ruins that they once called home. With the remnants of the reserve and the veteran companies, they managed to hold the inner fortress against the enemies of man. After the main attacks were repelled, only 300 Space Marines of the Iron Legion remained. They endured damnation, and there was nothing that could stop them now.